So you might be wondering why a 23-year-old adult does not have a driver's license. And I'm not going to get offended by the fact that you might be low-key judging me, because most likely if you're watching this, you're either my age or older, and you probably don't have your license either. So I think in this video, I just kind of wanted to share my experience, you know. There are a couple reasons why I haven't got my license yet as a 23-year-old adult, and some of them have to do with life circumstances that prevented me from getting it, which is honestly not enough excuse. Honestly, I'm not going to go into like what those things are, but then there's the other aspect that goes into fear, like irrational fears, and just like self-sabotage, really, because I feel like, you know, there are circumstances why I didn't get my license earlier, and, you know, I feel like at the end of the day, majority of it was just the fact that, you know, I could use those as excuses, but majority of it really came down to me and like being afraid in a way of, you know, it's like, it's kind of like a weird thing. Cause I know like having a car, you get freedom, you get all kinds of other things. And I don't know, it's like a mental thing, that kind of a mental block. And so it's just kind of like one of those things where I just kept pushing it off, pushing it off, pushing it off. I was like, oh, I can't wait to get my license. I can't wait to start being able to drive so I can go here, there, da, da, da. But, you know, I never got it. You know what I mean? I just kept putting it off. Ended up being kind of like a dream. Like, I can't wait until I get to the point where I can do that. But it wasn't like I was actually actively working towards it. And so I just got to a point in my life where I was just like, enough excuses. I'm just going to go ahead and do this thing. I started, like, you know, asking people, hey, can I go for a drive? Da, da, da. And just being more like assertive and not making any more excuses and just going for it, even though I did have like kind of like that feeling where, you know, obviously it was me holding myself back. So it's overcoming that barrier, overcoming myself and being like, hey, cut it out and let's do this. But other than that, I feel like honestly a lot of people don't even need to have a license. So if you're like, that's just why I don't think it's really that big of a deal if you are an older adult that doesn't have a license. Like even me my age, I'm like, it's really not that big of a deal. You know what I mean? I live in a state where you kind of need to have a car, but then there's other states where you don't really need to. So there are some cases where people are older and getting their driver's license. If you don't have your driver's license, don't feel bad about it. Honestly, like I feel like it's one of those type of things where you shouldn't necessarily feel bad. I feel like if it is a situation where you know that you're holding yourself back, then that's different. But if it's like, you know, you really don't need to, then I can understand. I just want to kind of create this video to kind of like inspire you to just push and do it. I think a lot of times we tend to, you know, overthink things and then overcomplicate things for no reason. And so, yeah, this is my journey into getting my license. But with that being said, I'm going to continue the video so you guys can see where the journey started and how everything went. So today is the day I'm going to be getting my driver's license. So yeah, it should be in a couple of hours. I think it's like 8 something right now. And I'm going to head over there at around 10 something. So in the meantime, for a couple minutes, I'm just going to watch some videos just to like, you know, I did it last night, like just kind of watching driver videos and just like for the driving test, just preparing myself for everything. But I'm confident that I'll be okay. Like I've been driving way more often lately anyway, so I think it's just mainly just making sure that, you know, I just am confident, I don't overthink nothing, you know, make sure that, you know, I'm following instructions and stuff like that. But today is that day. All right, so I finished getting dressed. My top is a little bit wrinkled and, you know, it's whatever. But, you know, wasn't trying to look like cute, but at least want to look, you know, presentable. So I feel like I pulled that off. So yeah, I think right now I'm just a little bit nervous, a little bit, but I know I got it. Like it's not like anything too crazy. I've been driving, like I said, like so it's really not that big of a deal. I guess it's just, just wanting to get it over with, honestly. So right now I'm probably just gonna watch a couple videos. It isn't quite 10 yet. It's be going around 10:30. So I think right now I'm just gonna watch some videos and stuff like that and just make sure I'm like, refreshing myself on like everything they're gonna be like having me do and everything. So just doing that, and yeah, that's kind of it. I don't know if this lighting really doing it for me. Actually, I think it, well, you look good. So right now it's a little past 10:30, so I'm about to head out now. For residents or like people who live in the area, we can walk in from I think 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. So I'm just hoping that it's not gonna be packed over there. I'm just gonna keep my fingers crossed. I hope that there's not gonna be like a bunch of people trying to get their license and stuff. Hopefully, because it's still like a weekday, I won't have that problem. But you never really know, honestly. So hopefully, I'm just gonna hope for the best. So it's two minutes until 12. I got concerned because I was like, bro, I hope that this DMV isn't gonna be packed. But lucky for me, I called them and there's nobody in there trying to take a driver's test, so I should be able to just get in and get out. So I'm not as nervous. I just kind of want to get it over with, honestly. So I'm just gonna just go in there, do what I do, and just do what I've been doing. So yeah, I'm about to head out now. So I'll be driving there, and then I have all the information I need as well, just to make sure that I have everything. They also had a checklist and just kind of like went down like what they'll be going through and looking at when you do the driver's test. So from what it looks like, I'm prepared. So we're gonna see what happens. I'm claiming it, bruh. I'm gonna make sure I pass this test. Like I'm not really too worried about that part, but so I'm back at the house. Yo, don't judge my hair. Look, we done been. I went hiking today. I've been doing so much today, so yeah, I look a bit rough. But otherwise, a very good outing. I didn't tell you guys, but yeah, I passed my test. Passed my driver's test. The reason why I didn't get to update you guys is because pretty much as soon as I got left the place, I drove back home, and from right then, my friend had came. It was like we got to the house around the same time. Left with my friend, and didn't get back until just now, which is like 8 something. So yeah, I think I left with my friend at around like 3 o'clock, and so it's about like 8 something now. So we just had a good time, honestly. We went out to eat, then we went hiking and basically got lost, but we found our way back. That junk was so scary. We saw a wild boar. I wish I'd have caught that junk on camera, bro. Like I was like, when I was out there, I was like, bro, this is some white people stuff. We black people, we don't do that. We don't go out in the woods on hiking trails and not know where the heck we're going. So we're probably walking for like, I want to say a little over an hour maybe. Got lost, but eventually we finally got our way out ultimately. So it was nice to like just enjoy nature and stuff like that and just like be in the moment. I was not prepared for hiking, so my shoes got like dirty. My other shoes look worse than this one, other pair. But yeah, it was very rough, but very eventful day. I must say I'm very tired. I'm very excited that I got my license. It actually didn't go as bad as I thought. It was kind of like straightforward. I didn't get any points off. I got every point. I killed it. So yeah, I'm proud of myself. It's definitely something I can mark off on my goals list. So in editing this video, I realized I did not do a great job explaining how my experience went. I just think because some of the stuff that happened that day, I really didn't care too much to talk about it like that. Like, I guess it hadn't really like fully processed for real. One thing I would suggest too is like, just so that you know what is expected of you on the driver's test, I would recommend that you look up whatever DMV you plan on going to take your road test. Look up their website, look at their website, and then, you know, see if they have like a PDF that tells you what's going to be on the driver's test, and then go based off of that. I feel like you should just learn in general, like as you drive, but like to actually prepare yourself for the driver's test, see if they have that document. That's how I knew like what was expected of me. Not only just that, but also other people telling me. But if you don't have that, definitely make sure you check and see that, so that way you know what you need to be learning. See if they're going to be asking you any questions, and stuff like that. I know mine said it was going to ask me a question, but they never asked me it. But at least now I know like the answer and everything to it. But yeah, so definitely do that. Highly recommend it. Another thing I did too is, if you live like based on your state, look up the driver's test. Like look up driver's test in so and so state. Like I did my state, and just like watching videos over and over again of like what would be on the test, and then see other people like practicing for the test and stuff like that. And so that helped me a lot. So I suggest you guys do the same thing. See if there's any videos out in your state of people practicing to take the test, so that way you know exactly what's on it, what to expect, and stuff like that. As far as the DMV, I know in certain places like it'd be like packed even early in the morning as soon as they open up. For me, that was my concern, which is why I wanted to try to go as early as I could, but with unpredictable circumstances, I did leave way later than I wanted to. But lucky for me, it wasn't like super packed when I got in there. Like it was starting to get a little bit busy, but it was still like fairly kind of early. But you know, I had called ahead just to see, because I wasn't sure there would be a bunch of people waiting to take the driver's test. They told me there wasn't anybody else. I did go in there, and you know, and waiting, I was really waiting for like a whole hour, maybe even a little bit over an hour to take my driver's test. But apparently there's some other people in there taking driver's tests too, and so they finally got me in there to do it. Finally. So I would suggest, if you're going to be going to the DMV, definitely try to go as early as you can. Try to go on days where, you know, a lot of people are probably going to be in school and stuff like that. Make sure it's not. I did mine on spring break for like, I think high schoolers or something like that, which I did not know. Lucky for me, there was like a whole bunch of high schoolers trying to take their driver's test, but make sure that you keep that in mind. To try to make sure you strategize on what day and what time you're going to do it. Earlier the better, in my opinion. And so yeah, that's kind of how that went. The driver's test, like I said, was very fast. I think the biggest thing they had me do is probably the 3-point turn. Even that was still really fairly simple. And then also making sure that you have the turn signals and stuff like that on. I killed it. I'm not gonna lie, I killed it. And so parking, I killed that too. Like I'm really good with parking. And so parking was very easy for me. So they had the cones, and you had to park inside the cones and then back out. They had you speed up to 20 and then go to an immediate stop. They also had you do where you reverse, and you have to like look back while you reverse. And yeah, that's kind of like really it. You just gotta make sure you have your turn signals down. You use your turn signal for everything, literally, even the 3-point turns, stuff like that. Like those are things that, you know, you would know. And the only way I was able to know that was watching those videos and stuff like that, because that's very important. So definitely make sure you get that document, and make sure that you watch those videos based on your state. Those are definitely going to help you out. But yeah, so basically when I came back into the DMV and I parked and everything, got out of the car, everything was good. We're walking back. He was like, oh, by the way, you passed. I was like, oh, okay, cool. And so they told me I didn't get any points off. I did really, really good. And so I killed it. But it was really awkward too, because there's this other girl in the DMV. As soon as I walked in, I was feeling all good. I was like, bro, I passed my test? What? I mean, I kind of knew I would, but I mean, come on. But I got in there, and then there's a girl in there I had seen earlier. I'm not meaning to laugh at her, but I guess she had failed her driver's test, and the guy who had done her test was over there with her and her parents, and the girl was like all teary-eyed and stuff. I felt kind of bad. It was awkward, because I was like, dang, I just passed my test and this girl over here just failed hers. But you know, like that's just kind of like something that happens. And even if you do fail, at least you can go back again. If you're not a resident of the area where your DMV is, make sure that it's okay for you to go in, because I know sometimes they have like special, if you're a resident in the area, then you get to different privileges. If you're not in the area, then they have certain restrictions. So you want to make sure that you go at times that are like, I guess, that are available to you and stuff like that. So make sure you're careful as far as that goes, because you don't want to go to the DMV and they tell you, oh, sorry, we're not taking people outside of the area right now, or something like that. Like, because they kind of like do first priority for people in the area. At least that's where I'm at. We're kind of like priority if we're in the area of the DMV. Just do it, guys. It's really not. I think a lot of times we tend to overthink, and that's something that I learned in situations. Is just do it. Do things. That's one big lesson I learned recently as far as everything. Even when you don't feel like doing it, do it anyways. Like, literally, like, just don't care about it. Just get it done, and you'll be glad you did it. And you're just like, wow, that was it. You know what I mean? So that's kind of the situation. I'm proud of myself, really, because, you know, this is something I pushed off for a very long time. And so bring it on. I got that freedom now. I got that freedom. Of course, I still have to learn as I go and drive and be safe. If you are planning on taking your driver's test anytime soon, good luck. You got this. Hopefully some of my tips might help you out if you're going to be taking yours anytime soon. I didn't actually get my actual license card because I didn't bring proof of residency. So I'm going to go back with like a piece of mail or whatever and just give it to them so I can get my license done, which is fine because I don't feel like I want my picture done looking like this anyways. So when I go back, I'll be looking more presentable for my license and everything. So we did it at the age of 23, got our license. And so I'm proud of myself too, because, you know, I kind of made today the deadline where I had to get this done. And it kind of started off kind of rough, you know, like, you know, I didn't leave the house until almost 12 o'clock and we got in there, had to wait for a long time. I want to say maybe about an hour. Then they finally took me out to do the driver's test and I came back. It took even longer. But they were able to get me, basically I had to wait again because I had to actually get pay for the driver's test, and then I had to pay for the actual license. But because I was actually getting my license that day, they were able to let me like skip the wait and just pay for my things so I could leave. So that was a blessing because as soon as I got back to the house, my friend had just gotten there too. So it was like perfect timing. I was concerned that my friend was gonna be sitting there waiting, and like I didn't want her to have to sit and wait or anything like that. And so like everything fell into place as it needed to. But you know, just being able to sit and catch up with a friend like has been like so, it's been so cool. Like honestly, we just sat and talked and just like talked for hours and stuff like that. We even sat in silence, just enjoyed the silence and just like the hiking trail. Like it's just like enjoying like the moment and just like not feeling awkward, not talking and stuff like that at times. But like we did have some deep conversations and stuff just about life and just realizing that, bro, like life be hard. Like it really do. There are other people going through stuff too, and you're not just the only person that's going through it. So it's nice to know that you're not alone. You got other people too that you can support and make sure that they're good and stuff like that. You kind of feel like you're not alone anymore. And so, you know, it kind of felt awesome. So, you know, that's not the only person. Like I have other people too that, you know, I've been catching up with and just like, you know, being more social. And it's been really nice just to catch up with people and just seeing my life go forward. Today's been a great day, you know, a really great day. And I'm just so blessed and proud of myself for pushing myself to get this thing done, even despite everything that was going wrong earlier today.